A subscriber sent me this article and it just really annoyed me. Just very sad to see that a young trader could give up on life just because of money. Now, I know society these days puts a lot of emphasis on money, making a lot of money, making money online, so you could have that nice, luxurious lifestyle. But it doesn't mean that it's the most important thing, and that if you don't have money, then you're worthless to society. So apparently, this young man woke up to see his account negative $730,000 in Robinhood. Now, if this happened to me, I would get this huge pain in my stomach for sure, but I would sell all my assets and just run away. I don't know if I just admitted to a crime, but this is definitely not something anyone can handle. So apparently he bought puts and sold shares, and he thought that they would cancel each other out. But buying a put and selling shares, they're both bearish strategies. So you only make money if the stock goes one way. If you buy a put, then you want the stock to drop. If you sell shares, you want the stock to drop because you'll buy back the shares when the stock is cheaper. You sold it for a higher price, let's say 300, and you want to buy it back for a lower price, let's say 250. But the potential losses are infinite because a stock can skyrocket. So the article doesn't mention which strikes were bought, but for example, if you buy a 295 put on a stock, then the profit only occurs when that stock drops by a certain amount, by how much premium you paid. And if the stock goes up, then that's when you start losing money, and the max you could lose is what you put in the put option. And if you short a stock at 305, your max profit occurs when the stock drops, but there's actually unlimited loss if the stock goes up because you don't know at what price you'll have to buy it back. Now, who is to blame for all this? Obviously, I am in no position of saying who is to blame, who is at fault, but definitely there are things that can be done, improvements that can be done to avoid things like that happening again. And I think one of the easiest improvements, Robinhood being more selective on who gets to trade options. But the thing is, even if they go through a whole questionnaire, people can still lie on the questionnaire, even if they make them do a test to see their option knowledge. People can still have someone maybe do the test for them. So there's always going to be ways around it. But I think a good improvement for brokers to make sure that the trader is ready is after every order placed or before placing an order, there should be a window, a pop-up, an alert that can never be ignored that describes the risk in numbers, gives you the risk in numbers in case of different scenarios. So for example, if you buy a put option, there should be a window before confirming your order, before sending your order, there should be a window describing what happens if the stock does this, what happens if the stock stays put, what happens if the stock goes up, and based on the value of your trade, how much money you're risking to lose, potentially how much money you could potentially gain, and so on. So regardless of the strategy that you're submitting, the trade that you're sending, just to have an alert, a window pop-up that describes all different scenarios for that particular trade and in numbers based on the size of your trade as well. I think that would be a good improvement. And make sure they click yes, of course, before they can send the alert. Now, of course, not everyone might read the alert carefully, so just make sure that the alert is well written out, easy to understand, so that it's obvious to the trader. Something like, if you make this trade, you could potentially lose $200,000 if this happens. But if this happens, you could make a $5,000 profit. I think maybe something like that would have helped avoid situations like this. But in general, I think everyone in general should not care about money this much. I mean, money is just a tool to live your life. Your ability to make money is what's important. You might have lost money, but you did not lose your ability to make money. That's why when I try to make trades, I try to be consistent. I want to make sure that I am consistently making money on purpose, that it wasn't a lucky trade, that it was something I did on purpose, so that I'm trying to gain a skill, an ability to make money consistently on the stock market. And that's why I'm always looking and tweaking strategies that have to do with option selling. And in March, I lost a lot of money in March and it really hurt, but I decided to take my losses because I had sleepless nights. And what I was telling myself is, at least I have a strategy in place. I know what works and what doesn't. I'm gaining a lot of knowledge and experience. And at the end of the day, I have my family, I have my kids. Life goes on and you'll easily forget about it. And at some point, if you give up on life like this, then just give up on it. Just go to another country and just start a new life carelessly, because you already gave up on it. But this is definitely a sensitive topic. It's hard to talk about, but I thought it would be a good idea to share this article. I'm sure lots of you have seen it already, and just want to give my input on how something like this can be avoided. I don't use Robinhood. My broker of choice is Questrade. Now, Questrade, before sending out an order does give you a certain alert, but not exactly described as the way I was saying. It's mostly talked about how much capital is required to place this trade. But I think an alert with scenarios would be perfect for any kind of trader. So if you are interested in opening an account with Questrade, I do have 2 referral codes. One of them gives you up to $250 back depending on your deposit. The other one gives you $50 in free trades regardless of your deposit. And if you enjoyed this video, click the like button, share with a friend, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.